Hello, this is the Political 12-Year-Old Show. I'm 12, and I talk politics. Well, did I just say 12? I'm never gonna get over it. It's been less than 15 less than like 19 episodes, and I'm still saying 12. It's the Political 13-Year-Old Show. I'm 13. I'm 13, and I talk politics. All right, and before we start out today, just wanted to please ask you guys if you'd be so kind to donate to my Patreon. The link is in the bio. It helps out the show a ton, and you get rewards, like crazy rewards, discounts on my merchandise, which is coming soon, guys. I'm gonna talk to my boss and we can settle something. You get like exclusive polls. You get videos from me. I haven't posted much on it because no one's kind of done that. But all I need is one, and it will help out a ton. And it just helps out with getting the equipment ready and the software and getting people on the show. That's right. So if you just donate down below, and not only that, it opens the door to so many opportunities you guys don't even know. Right. Let's start out with the news. So Democrats have just made their way to filibuster Neil Gorsuch. It's official that not only are they going to filibuster Neil Gorsuch when the time comes, but they are becoming complete babies. Republicans say Neil Gorsuch is a universally respected judge from both sides of the aisle, as he's been in many constitutional cases, and he has not done anything that came from his opinions, and he has not made any rulings from his opinions, but he has looked at the Constitution and interpreted it how the Founding Fathers would and made the rulings like that. How do the Democrats respond to this? We won't do any of the stuff we want to do, like paying women who want free baby killing funded by the government. Yes, that is right. Also, filibusters have never been done before for a Supreme Court pick. Never. And I'm just sitting here thinking, why even bother? What are they getting out of this at this point? I mean, yeah, it will be easier to pass their agenda, but eventually Trump will get his way. He has 4 years on you guys. And if you guys don't give him the Supreme Court pick, which, by the way, the people who voted him in for wanted, that was like 25% of the actual election was just, I want to see this, like a conservative to replace Anthony, was it Anthony Scalia? I can't believe I can't remember his name. But yeah, Anthony Scalia. I'm going to call him that. And let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Wait, I don't want to do that right now. All right. And before you guys start going, Adrian, what is a filibuster? Let me explain to you. So a filibuster, as much as it wastes time, is exactly that. It is wasting time. The legal definition for it is holding time during a point of legislation or rulings, or no, just in legislation, that holds time until there's a culture, which is like 60 senators try to end the bill that is trying to be passed. Now, this has never been done again for a Supreme Court pick. This would be huge and completely and would set a huge precedent to how Supreme Court justices are picked, and this could eventually hurt them in the future, because not only will it hurt them in like future rulings, like way in the future, but this could hurt them in this Senate election and House election, because I believe the number was either 6 or 9 Democrats are senators from states that Donald Trump was elected in. If they decide, and blocking Neil Gorsuch is huge, it has gotten huge support from Democratic Party officials. If they do this, they may see a seat change when it comes to parties. Now, do I think they're playing into Trump's hands? Probably. I think Donald Trump is just looking towards re-election because he just wants to hold his power for as long as he can. And I think the Democrats are just kind of giving it up to him. Got my liberal mug of tears. Oh yeah, and I'm guys. I'm not gonna be a drama news. I'm not gonna be a drama news YouTuber, but I will talk a little about this. So, if you guys don't know what the deal is with Rice Gum, before we get into that, I just want to let you guys know I am a huge Rice Gum fan. I know pretty much all of his diss tracks by heart. I listen to him all the time. I literally I love his stuff so much that one time I watched all of his diss tracks and just his separate gaming videos. I didn't even know he had a Twitch until like 30 minutes later after I watched like 50 videos. It was so crazy, and I loved him, and I still love him now. And if you don't know the huge deal with what's going on, it's pretty much that the Rice Gum and turns out that chilling, he's like, you can see him in the Snapchat. He's just kind of like that. He's just chilling, relaxing. And Gabby, she's trying to claim that she never brought any of this up, but she goes like, go on Snapchat and just be like, Rice Gum, battle me. So she goes up to Rice Gum and is like on Snapchat, like, hey, I'm gonna challenge you. I challenge you to a rap battle. And Rice Gum's like, no. Like, he's kind of playing along with it, but he seems so just like laid back there. And then what he said and what other witnesses said is like, oh, he's like he oh fuck, what was, oh yeah, before he was just like chilling, and then like she came up to him, she took the video, and he was like, yo, can you like not post that? And then she was like, it's fine. All right, why won't you battle me, Rice Gum? And he's just like, what? Like, he sounds so confused. And then she puts on her story and she's like, dude, can you like not do that? And he's like, hold on, it's okay. And right when he does that, he's like, yo, stop. And he starts getting like mad. And then they like kind of he grabs for the Gabby Cho's phone, and they just start going on like a tug of war until eventually Rice Gum like grabbed it and threw it on the floor, smashed her phone. Now, this isn't a big deal, except it is. And not only that, he actually is being accused of hitting the Gabby Show. Who said that? The Gabby Show. She claimed that he like hit her and struck her after he took her his phone after he took her phone and smashed it. The weird part about this is, why would he? Like, he probably seemed upset, but why? And I don't blame Rice Gum, because YouTubers, once you're really big, you have cameras all around you, and like, that happens to all YouTubers. And I heard that like YouTube parties, most of the time, like if you ever take a picture or like want to take a vlog or whatever, you have to ask for permission. Like, hey, can we take a selfie? Like, that you don't like just go like, hey, what's up, guys? Like, you gotta like ask for permission, because like it's like really strict about that. But anyways, yeah, and the Gabby show was going off on he hit me, and Rice Gum is saying that he paid back her phone, which she claimed is true. Not hit her at all, and he got so mad about this because this is really hurting his reputation. This could have hurt his reputation a lot, because if you are being accused of hitting a girl, that is bad. That is really bad. So I think that he definitely didn't hit her. What he did was wrong, and he admits that, which is a good thing. And but he got so pissed that he made a diss track, and I loved it. I was dying the whole time. It was great. If you want, you can guys check that out on his channel, Rice Gum. Great stuff. I'm Team Rice Gum. He was actually on Drama Alert with Keemstar. It was great. All right, so now we're gonna talk a little bit about free speech, because that's been like a burning issue this in the current political climate, which is free speech. You can't have it. Neither can Nazis. And by the definition, everyone who is slightly right wing is a Nazi. Even a person who is just centrist, who doesn't want open borders, is a Nazi. So if let's take a look at this. So what they're claiming is that these people believe stuff that is so radical, which, I mean, it is. No one's denying that. It's so radical and so hateful, which is true, that they must be banned. Really? Like, and this is what I hate about the left, is that they can't just... you have Nazis. I can easily beat a Nazi in a debate, which actually I'll get into later. But I can easily whip a Nazi in a debate. And I hate Nazis. I mean, no, who doesn't? But I mean, are you kidding? Are you kidding? You can't just beat them in a debate. You can't just be like, "Can we talk for a second and let me destroy you?" You have to be so stupid to try and ban them. So this is their logic. They're so extreme that we must ban them. All right, you want to take out the extremists on our side, which, by the way, Nazis aren't even economically right wing. So they're National Socialists, which is center economically. There's a balance in economic regulations. But if you take out the extreme that you guys are associating with our side, we can take out the extreme which are so clearly associated with your side. Why can't we ban free speech for communists? They don't believe in free speech. They support a regime that killed 55 million people, which is solid. And then there's more and more that adds on to that. But that's what that and then they go around and say, well, that's different. That's different. That's not proven. You're becoming more just as apologetic as a Nazi. And this so-called hate speech that they want to deliver. Hate speech isn't a thing. It's not. It doesn't even exist. And you want to know why? What is the definition of hate speech? Anything that is hateful. Isn't that subjective now? See, if a word has a definition, it must, or for a word to have effect legally, it must, and I mean must, be defined. And so far, it's been tossed around like, what is hate speech? And so far, what I've gotten is anything that is bigoted and hateful towards a certain group, religion, gender, race, whatever. And I said, well, who defines that? We do. Well, it's not defined because hate is universal, correct? No, because whenever you're applying something that involves emotion, that is incredibly subjective. I mean, if I went up to you and said, "Hey, your dress is purple," you could be like, "I hate purple. This isn't purple," and take it as an insult. Or you could be like, "Oh, thanks. I like purple." I mean, that's a crazy. I mean, that's a little like far-reaching of a hypothetical. I don't know how that would be used in a real situation, but it's true. That's how it works. All right, we're gonna be taking We're gonna be taking a quick little break, and we're going to be having on, as I said, I would get into later, a person where I will be hosting a debate on my show between a Nazi and a libertarian, more like a minarchist. So you got a person who's like down here and then up here. All right, stay tuned for that. Right here. See you then. Hello. We
Hey,
are back, and we are here with what's your name
Libertarian
again?
Exceptionalist.
We
Ivan,
Yeah, well, Ivan. Okay, we're here with Ivan, otherwise known as the Instagrammer Libertarian
Libertarian
Exception.
Exceptionalist. Yep.
Yeah, and he was like one of my first partners on Instagram. So kudos to you. Great business decision there. So yeah, I understand that you will be joining it. Well, you'll be in a 1v1 debate between a fascist. I'm not so sure about neo-Nazi, but a fascist.
Very close.
Very, very close. I don't know why I repeated that, but so you're going to be debating this guy, and we just want to get like a little I would say in depth on what's going to be going on and what you guys are debating about. Is it going to be like economics, social freedoms? Social freedom should be the biggest part about that. No.
Yep. Yeah. We're going to be doing kind of both because fascism is its own economic system. I'm going to be debating that system, the third positionist versus a free market, and mostly the social, like you mentioned.
Yeah. So what do you think's like the biggest part about fascism that's like that just kind of like turns you off?
The idea that somebody can have all of the rights while controlling everybody else. Because
Can you elaborate on that?
yeah, pretty much how I feel fascism is, or any authoritarian regime, is it's where one person or a very small group of people, they control and dictate the lives of all of the others, while they do not hold themselves to those same standards.
Yeah, and you like compare them like politically to any other fascist regime or leader per
Well,
se?
I mean, I he associates with Hitler and with Mussolini. Yeah,
Oh, oh,
it's
oh.
gonna it's gonna be pretty easy, I think.
Yeah, I mean, what's going to be like your big, point because when you're debating people like these like huge extremists, there's like that
Mhm.
one, you're kind of playing with the mouse a little, and then there's like that little jab, and then he's put to sleep. What do you think that's going to be?
I don't want to give too much away because, like, in case if he watches this, I don't want to give him anything to prepare for. But
Yeah,
there's going to be several jabs in several different places.
yeah. And does he at all associate with the GOP? Because
No.
there has been plenty of Nazis that have claimed to be with the GOP. There was one. I I think it was GOP Aaron. He has a YouTube channel and an Instagram. Yeah, actually a pretty big YouTube channel, but it's kind of scary because the guy's black and he's a Nazi and he posts
Mhm.
like Hitler memes all the time, and he's actually advocating for Muslim, uh, what is it, Muslim concentration camps.
Right.
So,
That sounds very fascist. um, I think my opponent would support any authoritarian GOP or even Democrat. I mean, if they're authoritarian, I think he would support them.
yeah, I mean,
But
oh yeah, go.
I don't know of anybody in particular that he would support from GOP. He said Trump isn't terrible, but I wouldn't consider that an endorsement.
Yeah. But with when it comes to fascists, economics doesn't really have anything to do with their play. I mean,
Well, actually, they are their own thing. They are a combination of communism and capitalism, yet they're neither. It's kind of complicated, but
yeah, I mean, Hitler just like extracted it down to kill the Jews, get rid of the gold standard.
Hitler. Now, I know a lot of fascists would say that Hitler wasn't a Nazi, or I mean, excuse me, wasn't a a socialist. But I mean, quotes from him. There's lots of evidence that points to that he was. So I'm very interested to hear my opponent's research that I'm assuming that he's done on this to prove that he wasn't a socialist.
Is he a Holocaust apologetic?
Explain.
Like, does he does he say that the Holocaust was necessary,
Um,
or if
he believes the Holocaust was greatly fabricated, and that's a quote.
yeah, I do think that there are maybe some it's in bits that may
I mean, blown out
have
of
been
proportion.
not blown out of proportion, but maybe exaggerated. Like, I wouldn't go as far to say the Thanksgiving dinner, but definitely along those lines of, yeah, it definitely killed 6 million Jews, but I don't think that in certain areas they claim that 800,000 people died in concentration camps. That number may be a little shrunk down to like 700,000, but it's more of a way of like of people to understand like how bad it was, because
Mhm.
even just like by 100,000 people will be like, that's nothing. You should check out my boy Stalin. Like,
Right. Well, I think a lot of it. I think it doesn't just include the concentration camps because there's only so many people you can kill. There are records, very well documented records throughout all the concentration camps, but that also would include those who died outside of the concentration camps. I would assume. Just the entire Hitler regime, he was responsible for just so many deaths. Even before Hitler, before the war, there was decades of mistreatment of Jews and laws passed that would affect only the Jews, and it even caused an epidemic of suicides throughout German Jews.
yeah.
And it was just go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say that that the Nazis were very where Hitler rose to power from the anger of losing World War II, and he blamed it on
World
the
War One.
Jews. Yeah, or World War One. Why did he blame it on the Jews exactly? I don't. I never understood that.
I'm not sure. I think it wasn't mostly the fact that they lost World War One, but the world that they had to live in because they lost World War One with the Treaty of Versailles, however you want to say it. It definitely put Germany in a very bad spot. And if you watch any of his speeches, it's about how they should get out from under our the Allies' thumb, and how we're oppressing them, and many different things. So I wouldn't really say it's because they lost, but it's because of the harsh treatment they received by the signed treaty.
Mm. All
But
right.
to answer your question about the Jews, I really don't know why he would blame it on them. And Hitler himself was actually a Jew, so it's a
He
little weird.
was.
He was, yes. His great grandfather was a Jew.
Well,
Um,
I don't believe that because of his grandfather was a Jew. I'm pretty sure he was definitely an atheist.
no, Hitler, he was a staunch Christian. At least he believed so. He was he believed every part of his crusade, if you could call it a crusade, was for God. There's several quotes. There's a lot of that research
So why
in
did
the
people
debate.
call him Führer? So why did people call him Führer?
I can't answer that, but he's very outspoken about how his view on atheists, is very negative, and he's a very, I would say, almost diehard fake Christian.
Hmm. Well, so I understand you're a minarchist.
Yes.
So, and would you align more with Ron Paul or Rand Paul? Because that's kind of like the comparison between libertarians. If you really just want to like narrow it down of their beliefs, you just go Ron Paul or Rand Paul.
Well, that's tough. I like Ron's economics better, excuse me. But I would say Rand's social better.
But
Ron is,
Ron's like more lenient towards like bottom of the
yeah,
spectrum.
yeah,
And you're a
he's,
minarchist though.
well, Ron, or Rand, yeah, Ron, he's very extreme non-interventionalist. Well, I would be a baseline non-interventionalist where there is a certain point where we do need to get involved. We do need to start fighting. Like, I would say in World War II, if we're provoked, we need to defend ourselves. We need to go overseas because we were provoked. I would there are different cases that I would endorse.
Yeah. So with the case of non-interventionism and interventionism, you would say that we would have to be attacked in order to intervene.
I'm sure there are exceptions to that, but for the most part, I would say so.
Yeah. And with Ron Paul, he is definitely staunchly non-interventionist and isolationist, but he does believe to some extent, like with the case of ISIS, he's definitely for maybe he's definitely for limiting the military in those areas, but definitely using it more strategically, not bombing the shit out of them every single day.
Well, if I remember correctly, when he made different comments like that, it was because we were already involved in Middle East. I mean, we have no business in being in the Middle East. We started everything. I mean, I would go as far to say as we asked for 9/11 because we started messing with Al Qaeda. Al Qaeda had nothing to do with us until we got involved, and I would say we started it. We started the chain of events.
Yeah, but I think that it has to do all the way back to maybe before Reagan, like maybe Carter and Nixon, and maybe or JFK, that we got involved. So I would say that the future presidents have it harder because there's just so much involvement right now. Where if we just pull out, children die. If we stay
Mhm.
in, our children die. So I think that it's just a mess all around. That all we've been doing is just drone striking, and we don't even know what we're doing anymore because it just goes all the way back to like the 50s and the 60s where we don't even know what we're doing anymore.
Mhm.
We and there's so much involvement that it's so complicated. Like we have to we're creating terrorist groups to defeat
Yep.
terrorist groups.
Yeah.
And yeah, did you see that meme?
Hmm.
Yeah, but it's true, and that's why I like
But I mean, I think one good analogy to use for it to hit more home is imagine if some other country, say Russia, got involved to start bombing the KKK or even the Black Panthers or even BLM. Any violent, what we would consider terrorist group, say it was maybe a bit larger, a bit more well organized. If they came in, started bombing our cities, started bombing our towns, started killing innocent civilians, innocent children, just to deal with some terrorist group that we could easily deal on our own. I mean, how would we feel? We would consider the Russians terrorists, wouldn't we?
yeah, and a lot of these Syrians and Middle Easterns, I like to point out to liberals and conservatives that if a person is coming into your country and saying we will save you, and then bombing way too close to you, and
Hmm.
then bombing the people who are close to you, and you didn't ask for any of their help, and what you're doing is raiding them in the name of saving them, and then lowering their lifestyle because it's already bad, and it's just going into worse because you just made their village a war zone. What do you call them?
Exactly, it would be terrorism. And when American Sniper came out, that is some extreme propaganda right there. American Sniper, and
I really like that movie.
I enjoy the movie, but I do recognize that it is propaganda for the war. Um, but if you'll notice in the scene where he had to choose to shoot the children, the mother and the child with the bomb, do you remember that scene?
Yeah.
Adam Kokesh touched on this as well. Let's look at it from their perspective, though. We always look at the enemy as not human and just trying to kill us, come take our freedoms or something, but they're not. It's they they believe that they are the last line of defense for their city. Invading troops came in, demolished their city, probably killed most of the men, probably killed their husband, older brother, whoever else, and they are the last defense for their home, their country, their city, whatever they're thinking. So they go out there to defend themselves and whatever is left of them, of their city or whatever. And they go out to defend it against the invading troops who demolished it. I mean,
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna let you go because you're doing a lot better than me right now, and people are liking it in the chat right now. So keep on going.
All right. I mean, the main problem is we don't look at the enemy as people. We just look at them. The government tries to paint them as some evil thing, like with in Germany, their main propaganda was to paint the Jews as ugly, subhuman, evil entities, so that the German people and whoever else would support their war to destroy them all. And that's kind of how we're painting all of the Middle East.
Yeah, and would you go as far to say that it's our responsibility now to take in refugees? Because I mean, now that you're talking about, it's all our fault. I mean, it's kind of a dipshit move. Like, yeah, kind of screwed you over, but I know you're looking for help, but nah. Like that's a little bit of a douche move.
I see what you're saying, but just because, okay, that was our government that put them in there. I'm sorry. I'm trying to put together a good sentence.
Yeah. I can see what you're saying, and I agree with you. I'm just supposed to be asking.
That is a very hard question.
Yeah.
I don't think we should, because that we caused everything essentially. I would say, why wouldn't they want to come to America, to our homeland, to start something? They have every motivation to get over here and start something or finish something that we started. Just look at look at England. They have no involvement as far as I know. They're not even involved in the Middle East and Paris. No, these other countries.
They definitely have. They have to have some sort of involvement because remember, all of the Middle East was theirs at some point.
I mean, in recent events.
Yeah, I know, but they're like we've seen it takes at least more than 5 centuries to when a country like gives independence to like fully give it right.
But I mean, were they bombing them? Or
they were in coordinated attacks with the U.S.
Okay, that's my bad then.
U.S. Yeah, they definitely were.
But I mean, we see in those countries, for example, that people of the Middle East are becoming radicals. And I mean, we say radicals. We would do the same thing if our country was attacked. We would try to go over there under the ruse of refugees or however we can to get back in the most powerful way we could.
We're more diplomatic than them.
I don't know. If your entire city was demolished, your entire family killed, would you want to handle diplomacy through diplomacy, or would you just want to go over there, cause as much damage as you could?
I mean, what happened in Pearl Harbor? If it wasn't for FDR, I mean, what happened in Pearl Harbor? We definitely were more diplomatic than.
That's true, but that was a military base. That was a direct attack. That was a coordinated attack, agreed, but that was a military base of men who signed up for the service and not civilians in their home trying to live their life. You see what I'm saying? They don't really compare. Because you're not going over there killing women and children just trying to go to school and provide and cook dinner or whatever they would be doing. You're attacking only men to start a war, not under the ruse of, oh yeah, we're protecting you, so we're gonna kill your women and children.
Yeah, all right. So one last question.
All right.
If you had to choose right now, would you live under Stalin or Hitler?
Ooh. Well,
I mean, I know
I would be
you would have.
considered a white Iranian male. So I mean, I would do
Wait,
just fine.
white Iranian?
Excuse me, however you say it. I've never really heard it pronounced.
Are
So
are do you mean Armenian or?
I mean, whatever Hitler considered the highest form of evolution of human evolution.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about, but
Okay. Well, Hitler had considered. I don't know if I'm just repeating something to you or something, but to
yeah,
Hitler, the reason why he hated the Jews so much is because, and all the different races, black people, different things, is because he was a firm believer still in Darwinian theory, even though he was Christian, and he believed that the white, I believe he considered it. I believe it is called Iranian. I'm not exactly sure the pronunciation, but he considered that to be the highest form of human evolution up to that point. And he believed that race mixing or anything um, that would just degenerate the human evolution up to where it got to a certain point. And he felt that there should only be that highest form of evolution of the evolutionary human race, if you could call it that.
yeah.
There.
I mean, it's like for me, I'm kind of I mean, yeah. I mean, the light makes my skin look lighter, but I'm pretty dark. I mean, I'm like a pretty dark tan. So like
Mhm.
I'm. It's like with Stalin, everyone's equally fucked. Or I shouldn't say that word to know that because I want this to be somewhat FCC regulated. But
Equally
it was
screwed.
yeah, we're all equally screwed. But when it comes to Hitler,
I would do pretty well in a Hitler country. I wouldn't
yeah,
be targeted, except for the fact. Have you seen the movie on Netflix called Resistance?
no,
It is about Polish freedom fighters. They they wouldn't have been bothered. They weren't Jews. They were what Hitler would consider the prime race,
mhm.
and they risked their lives to fight for the freedom of the Jews, and they would help them escape and everything. So it I would say I would probably be a part of that if I were to live in Hitler's day, and for that I wouldn't do too well. It's just saying that I would be targeted by Hitler and everything.
Oh
But
yeah,
if I were to keep my yeah,
I would
if I were
definitely
to
be part of the resistance too.
exactly yeah, and but if I were just to keep my head down, I would do just fine, other than being drafted into the SS probably.
Yeah, I mean a lot of those fighters um were definitely forced into there, like maybe like small
Hmm.
portions, and even
Absolutely.
then, most of them were still pretty tough. So it was like I would think like maybe less than 2% of people were like good Nazis.
Hmm.
That should be a child's book. The
Good
good
Nazis.
Nazi. All right.
That'll be the fascist book.
Yeah. All right. Are you ready for the debate on what is it, Thursday?
Thursday. Yep.
Yeah,
I'm very ready.
we may have to talk about scheduling after the
Yep.
show, but I'll definitely DM you. But thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Where can people reach you?
I mean, on my Instagram page at libertarian.exceptionalist. But yeah,
All right, I'll see you
they
then.
DM me. All right. See ya.
Yeah,
Good deal.
see ya. Bye.
Thanks.
All right. Next up, again, I'm gonna keep you in surprise, which mostly means I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but you gotta stay tuned for that right here on the show. See you guys then. Hello. Welcome back to the Political 13-Year-Old Show. And right now, I'm going to do something very, very exciting, which is officially doing my first endorsement of a politician. Yes. Today, I am announcing my support for Kurt Shiva for Senator of Massachusetts. Usually, I don't really care about Senate races unless it has to do with my state or local senators. I usually don't care because it doesn't really matter unless it's in like a, I do care about the Senate race in general, but not in individual states. But when it comes to the case of Kurt Shiva, not only is he the inventor of email, not only is he Indian American and probably will be one of the first Indian American senators, or I think the first Indian American senators, if he is elected. Not only is he run up against Elizabeth Warren and has more than a 44% chance of winning. More than a 50% chance of winning. But he has more than a 46% chance of winning. But he also might be coming on the show soon. That's right, I'm actually good buddies with a campaign manager for him, and he may be coming on the show. But is that what I wanted to talk about? No, I wanted to talk about him. So Kurt Schilling, or not Kurt Schilling, Kurt Shiva, I believe that's his name, is an Indian American-born citizen, and he is the inventor of email. He is a Republican. He is declared nominee for the Senate of Massachusetts, and he is aligned with the Republican Freedom Caucus, which is what I believe. And he is, I have to admit, he is doing spectacular right now. Elizabeth Warren is crapping her pants. She held a rally the other night in her state with Bernie Sanders, and it's not even like close to election season yet. When it comes to the Senate, so she's definitely crapping her pants. But this is really exciting because he's going to be coming on the show, hopefully to talk about what's going on, because his campaign manager for a district would not give me any information, which I have to do my investigating skills. But even then, I know what I'm supposed to know, but I'm not supposed to be telling you guys out of courtesy, because I do want this guy to win. Because Elizabeth Warren has soiled her seat with that fat thing of hers, with her, I don't want to say anything that I'm going to regret if I run for office one day, with her fat umbrella. I'm going to call an umbrella, which is her agenda, and soiled it with her period blood, liberal, not feminist nonsense. I mean, it's true. As much as butchered as it was, and as cringy as I delivered it, it's true. She has, and it's important for you guys to know that she may just be losing this election to someone who is more qualified. I mean, if we're going to talk about qualification with experience, maybe not. But if we're going to be talking about qualification through knowing businesses and how to run a business, knowing technology and how to boost technological advantages, or to boost technological advancements in your state and speed up the process without government regulation. And I'm pretty excited about what he has to offer us in general. Because I would like to see this guy beat Elizabeth Warren. How amazing would that be? Come on. All right, now I think just one more break and then the show will end. But first, let's go on over to my Instagram real quick, because if you guys do not know, well, I'm pretty sure you know. It went pretty well, and he got destroyed. All he was doing was just calling the imperialist scum all the time. But what was really funny and what really stuck out to me was that he kind of he did so much research, and I didn't it kind of got me off guard, because his whole Instagram page is dedicated to trying to beat us with communist memes that he has never made. He probably hasn't made a single meme ever, which is sad. It is very, very sad. So we're gonna go over to his page and check it out right now. Oh no! Don't tell me I forgot my password. No. Okay, let's see. Adrian. No. Okay, hold on. Does that work? Does that work? Okay. Okay, I got it. And he has changed his name so many times. It was Hispanic Maoist. Was it? No, it was Hispanic Socialist, then Hispanic Maoist, then it was CRCC 1776, and then it was Dominican Vanguard, and I think that's him now. So let's take a look. No, it's still Hispanic Maoist, but I think he's still Dominican Red Guard. And holy crap! Oh no, I was okay. Let's screen share this. All right, let's screen share this. So I was going to say, how does he have so many followers? And then I realized he follows more than he has followers. So, he's a cheater. And okay, let's take a look. First one. Imagine, if you will, a country where the 1% control almost all the wealth and power, while the 99% are so brainwashed they fight each other to keep it that way. What if I told you that maybe the 1 to 2% of the wealthiest people in America make up about, if we're talking about 1 to 2%, make about 40% of the country? Maybe? So you're telling me that 40% of the country controls almost all the wealth of the country? Or, I mean, no crap. I mean, what are you expecting? I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. I hate this nonsense from the left that's just like, imagine where if the 1%, imagine a country with the 1%, the 1%, the top 1%, we are the 99%. The 1% has nothing to do with population, and that's what they try and make it do. They make it seem like it has something to do with the population. It has jack crap to do with the population. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with how the wealth in our country is, where more people are wealthy than not, and that pisses off socialists so much. And then here we go. You know who you are, reactionaries. And I kicked his butt because on this in the debate, because he kept on calling us reactionaries, and he wouldn't give me a fine definition of reactionary, and then I had to explain it to him, literally. And I just read it. I just read the definition for it before the debate. Play for Leningrad. Okay. What the fuck happened today? Camp 7 days, 100 to 750 days. Oh no! 70 years ago. Camp 10 years, free. Oh my god. Oh, oh, this is why people are calling him maid. Oh my god. He's serious. He is actually serious. Oh my god. Oh man. Oh my gosh. That is so funny. That is so funny. I don't even know if he's serious. I don't even know if he's serious. Is he actually pointing out the gulags? This is why his account is always declared big. Let's take a look. That look when they give you. Hold on. Let's take a look at this. Okay. That look they give you when you say taxation isn't theft. It's true. The punishment of Ukrainian kulaks in one slide. Adios, libertarian swine. Ugh. Alright. No. Okay. U.S. public debt is ceiling since 1981. Okay, stupid. I just want to debunk his memes. I don't have time to like debunk charts right now. I don't have any notes on me. Get you a guy who can do both. Yeah, this is meanwhile in anarcho-capitalism. You're prostituting yourself off for cheeseburgers again, aren't you? A man's gotta eat. This is something I would post. Oh, okay. So this is a good one right here. Venezuela is socialist. Venezuela's free market proves otherwise. And, it's, you know, guns are fun right there. They're making fun of her. Republicans are autistic. Venezuela maybe isn't the socialists you want, but they are definitely socialist aligned. That is the closest ideology you can think of when it comes to Venezuela. They are, and they're pretty authoritarian too. Venezuelans, there is. I mean, I hate it when socialists will be like, "Is there a free market?" Yeah, but that doesn't mean that it's capitalism. and then they'll find the shittiest places on earth where it's like um yeah, like Venezuela or Cuba, and or no, they actually like Cuba, but they don't necessarily like Venezuela or Bolivia. They'll talk about Bolivia and they'll be like, Bolivia is capitalist and you guys are just are and they have a free market, so it's on your ideology. Since when has capitalism advocated for heavy state regulations in economics? It bobbles my mind and makes me want to punch them. And Venezuela is socialist. They definitely aren't the socialists like you prefer, but definitely socialist aligned. All right, we're going to take a quick little break, and right after that, we'll come back and be talking about what I plan to do when the communist and capitalist revolution comes about. See you guys then. Oh no, I don't have it set up. All right, I'll do this again. See you guys then. didn't work. All right. Hello. Oh no! Before it does it. Oh, okay, whatever. Hello. We're back with the ending monologue. So today I have officially rooted out a success plan for when the communist and capitalist revolution begins, because we all know it's coming. Those dirty, liberal, filthy dirtbags will eventually team up with the dirty, fruitcake comrade communists and will eventually try to somehow prevail against the capitalists. How do they know that the right-wing coalition is far more superior than the libertarian coalition? That's right. The right-wing coalition will gain more success than the left-wing, than the libertarian coalition. Therefore, libertarians will be on the same team as us, as long as they're right wing, and maybe we'll snatch a couple leftists if they do believe these comrades have gotten too radical. So this is how I plan to defeat the comrades. First thing that you have to do is we have to find a diplomatic way to give them some piece of land where they can go screw up their country, and then we can have some sort of land where we can, prosper. And if all else fails, we challenge them to a huge 50v50 debate where we will choose the smartest economic minds in the world on both sides. I mean, our chairs will fill up way faster than theirs. I mean, I'm not saying that as an insult. I'm just saying that as a fact. There's just more popular right wingers. Like, what? Cenk Uygur are like some people. Someone tried to compare Cenk Uygur's intelligence to Thomas Sowell. Get the hell out of here. Thomas Sowell is one of the most brilliant minds that that the north part of the U.S. has ever seen. That's true. And he is probably in my top 3 most smartest Austrians. And if that debate fails at 50v50, then we will give 5 days for them to prepare all the not food that they have, so that we may hand it over to them, and then we begin. And how do we win that war? Simple. We have the money. We buy what we need. And we kick the living crap out of them. Yeah, I'm serious. I will end so many commies. It is not even funny. Someone's like, well, don't you think that's a little radical? We're at war. We tried to solve this. If that debate failed, if they didn't want to just do this with a debate with how it's supposed to go, they're asking for death. You don't mess with my liberty or my money, okay? And next part is which I think is the biggest issue. Once we win the war, we will save as many commies as we can. I mean, people are trying to be like, oh, shouldn't we come up with tactics? We're already kicking the living crap out of liberals as it is, out of liberal fruitcakes. I mean, do we actually need to come up with tactics? We're stronger, we're faster, we're more intelligent. It's just the truth. They may have athletes, but we have the military. So I think we're good. Oh, they do have rappers, but at the same time, I think we can convert them if we can tell them that Hitler was a socialist. I think we can. We can get some of the rappers on our side, because they do have experience with those pew-pews. But yeah, but the last step, obviously, is trying to save and redeem as many communists as we can into the light of Austrian economics or any kind of right-wing economics. I'm not too. I know that monetarianism is pretty cool. It's pretty dope. Chicago economics is like not as cool, and Keynesian economics is just like, bleh, but it's not commies, so we're good. All right, so you have now seen what it's like to hear from the show that repels all sort of, its and pieces of liberal tears and drinks them up like Saturday tea. And is that it? Yes. Yes, it is. Thanks for watching. It's the Political 13-year-old show. You can, subscribe down below, leave a like, comment what you want. Also, Instagram in my bio, also my Twitter. You guys definitely need to check that out. Alright, I'm going to go now. But before you guys do, I just want to let you know you guys are awesome. Keep it up. It's the Political 13-year-old show. Thanks for watching. No, I'm not.